NBA playoffs, they are almost underway. But before we get to it, I got to talk about all of the positives from this season. How about the top 5 pleasant surprises for the NBA this season? At number 5, if y'all were not paying attention, allow me to bring it to the forefront of your eyes. Jalen Brunson with the Knicks. The Dallas Mavericks had the chance to keep him. They had the chance to make it work. They did not. And one man's trash is the New York Knicks treasure. Jalen Brunson, shout out to you in the season that you had and are continuing to have. At number 4, I still got to give some credit to the Brooklyn Nets, the 6th seed. Y'all realize that's the same seed, or better seed, actually, than the Dallas Mavericks, who were nowhere near where they were supposed to be when Kyrie Irving got there and left Brooklyn. And Mikal Bridges, he been balling with the Nets. So they're my number 4. Number 3, the Celtics. Now you might be saying, Acho, how in the heck are the Celtics a surprise? Remember what was going down with the Celtics before the season? Ime Udoka fired. Are the Celtics going to be able to keep that consistency as long as they have for the last 2 to 3 years? And they did again this season. Incredibly pleasant surprise. At number 2, this really shocked me. The Sacramento Kings. Kings ain't been good since Mike Bibby, Doug Christie, Jason Williams. Like, when was the last time the Kings were good? And now they sitting here looking pretty. Shout out to the Kings. They're my number 2. And at number 1, I gotta go with Anthony Davis staying healthy down the stretch. That truly is the biggest surprise to me. We always knock Anthony Davis. He's even been given the name street clothes. So, to the dude that we are going to kick when he is hurt and while he is down, I got to esteem and I got to appraise while he's up. My top 5 surprises in the NBA this season. Let me head to the desk and see who everybody had as their biggest surprise. I like singing people's praises on this show. Joy, who was your biggest surprise this season?
I love Anthony Davis being your number 1 because we do give Anthony Davis a lot of hell for not being available.
Deservedly,
Well, I mean, he's been unavailable a lot, and he wasn't in the biggest moment this year, and he stepped up. But I actually have the Celtics and the Nets. I mean, it feels like years ago. It's not that long ago that the Celtics lost their head coach to start the season. A lesser team, a lesser culture, a lesser organization would have crumbled under that. That's a big, massive change to go through right at the start of the season where expectations were still very high. And you mentioned it, the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, again, I've put the Nets trauma behind me. I was happy to not have to talk about what's the chaos of the Brooklyn Nets for a few months whenever that trade was made, but they've barely missed a beat, and it's nice. It's nice for them that they're able to be this competitive without all of the chaos. Not that I blame that on any particular player or anything, but you know, when the organizations go through a whole lot of turnover or a whole lot of turmoil, to be able to let those players step up and to have those coaches and players step up throughout the season and be in the position that they are now in the postseason is really commendable.
Yeah, I like the list too. Iron Man and Anthony Davis being at the top. I would have put him second on my list. Number 1 is the Jalen Brunson story, simply because we saw him as a sidekick, an able sidekick to Luka Doncic. I mean, consider he's taking the New York Knicks farther than Luka Doncic is taking the Dallas Mavericks with Kyrie Irving. That's just the reality of it. 10-game improvement over last year. He goes into New York, huge scrutiny. He's a 6'1", 190-pound point guard. He's been their go-to guy. You look at the rest of that team, and there's not a legitimate second. I know people think highly of Julius Randle, and he's been an all-star. But I look at the overall talent and where he's taken them and all of the pressure and attention that he's received, and all his numbers have gone up. I've always liked Jalen Brunson. I would have never in a million years said that he and they would accomplish this.
How surprised are you by the Nets? What I was trying to say, I butchered it in the moment. Nets have the exact same record as the Suns and are significantly better than the Mavericks. The Suns have Kevin Durant, and the Mavericks aren't even in the playoff picture. How surprised are you at the fact that you lost 2 top 20 players and you stayed competitive and to some degree got better?
Yeah, well, Mikal Bridges is a big part of that. They also got Cam Johnson. So they got a lot of nice pieces, quality pieces. And in the regular season, when you take a bunch of guys and you take away the stars, there's a lot of pride that comes up where it's like, hey, you guys think we're dog poop now. Like, we want to prove otherwise. And during the regular season, you can do that. Now, are they going to make any noise against Philadelphia and in the postseason? I wouldn't expect that. So I'm pleasantly surprised that the Nets did what they did.
I'm glad you shouted out Jalen Brunson because he deserved it. Let me clear my throat for this one. Light the beam, baby! It's the Sacramento Kings. Are you kidding me? Okay, not only are they good, they're fun.
Yeah.
The best offense in the NBA, and I don't say this to be mean. They're one of the most pathetic franchises in all of American sports. They had the longest playoff drought in North American sports until they got here. And they're not in the play-in tournament. They're not the 6th seed. Thanks for coming. They're the 3 seed, ironically, because they're the Kings, because they play in California's forgotten city. Nobody's like, we're just putting the Warriors into the next round of the tournament. It's like, cool, Kings. I don't know, man. They're really good and really fun. It's a long-suffering franchise. They've got proud, passionate fans. I'm so stoked for them that they get this. I remember in October or November, the light the beam thing started. You know, if they shoot the purple beam up when they win. And I was like, oh, man, that's so cute for the Kings that they're like 6-2. That's awesome for them. And here they are. They made it last all season long. They have been a punching bag for so long.
They had the longest playoff drought.
It's incredible.
Any team
06
in professional
They haven't
sports.
played in prime time since 2002.
This is what's crazy.
I love those Kings,
they went from like never making the postseason to being the 3rd seed. It wasn't just like they jumped into.
They're
like
not plucky.
the
Like
6th
this,
of the
they're a good team.
Yeah.
I will not fall in love with this Kings team, though. Because that old Kings team, they still got my heart.
Oh, yeah. You didn't even mention C-Webb.
C-Webb, Vlade, Peja, Stojakovic.
White Chocolate,
Bro.
Jason Williams.
We just named a lot of guys that have been retired for a long time.
I know, but I love
the Kings.
Shout out to the Kings this year, though.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.